Otherwise, those stuns are just going to be a burden rather than something to help him out in his aggression. And I'm also going to be looking at Kada on both halves. Like, can he lock down part of the map with that Cypher? But also in terms of lurks. Like, Haven is a map where you have so much in terms of space that can be found. If he can exploit that, maybe there's an opportunity here.
There certainly is. It's not over till it's over, and for Job Life, making it all the way to Abyss, and taking the dub there is the way to go, but ULF, they've set themselves up for success. Their own map pick will get them a 2-0. Give them some time to prep for their next game. Neki. We saw a lot of aggressive positions from ULF, but it was usually Echo going for them. Neki's not going to have any success. The shutdown brings us back to even. Fabian's there to at least take Seavoff down as Sop gets tagged heavy through the smoke. Cadaver creeping his way around the backside. I think they had spotted him. Certainly a strange position for a cage if they didn't. At this point, Echo is caught between a rock and a hard place, and it will be Kada to strike first, bringing this back to a 2v3.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity now. Although the spike all the way back towards the spawn. Maybe hoping that somebody on the off side will overextend a little bit. And, well, you know, Fabian is going walkabouts, but he's hit the timing almost perfectly. There is still the cam available to check on his position, but he now knows that it's there.
30 seconds left.
Because of that, he's going to go around the back. He's going to avoid that little piece of utility. The position of Ordez is a decent one, but doesn't have the greatest gun in the world for range. And if they can find a slightly elongated opportunity, there's a chance they could take him down.
Well, they've isolated him, but Ordez does very well to still find one. Sop trying to distract, and it might have worked. Fabian creeping up behind is an easy finish to this round. His third of the pistol round, obviously up the map. That's a 1-0 start for ULF. The pistol round going their way. Job Life, I mean, they tried their best to recover, but getting egoed in the end.
Have they seen some of the clips of Starzo standing up? Because they won't have seen it on the stage, but for some reason they really wanted to just take it out on him after the round was done. So clearly something has been said or something has been done. But 1-0. Important to keep the momentum of the last map going, and I'm immediately drawn to the outlaw of Sop. It was devastating in the beginning of the second half of Bind, and I'm already looking at him potentially just going to run down and fire a couple of shots. Maybe not.
Maybe run away after all that noise is heard, but he's got himself his ground to stand on, holding it as Neki comes in to support. This is looking like Job Life running straight into a brick wall, and with the weaponry they have, even a few shots landed won't be enough. Sop survives that on 20 HP.
Okay, it's nothing personal, it's just any of them.
Hey, listen, he's putting a crown on their head. That's nice. It's a good sign. The shots,
Yeah.
it's like the cannons in the 1917,
Enemy remaining.
the Overture. I can't remember the name of it now. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. One of the greatest.
Oh, in case anybody was wondering, the HUD did die a little bit in that moment. He wasn't spamming a body while there were still 3 players left alive. That would have been mental. But a very strong start for Sop once again. And he's going to be in the right place at the right time. He's looking to try and just put immediate pressure in onto Starzo, but Starzo will hold his ground. An incredibly aggressive start. It was mentioned by Mini, and you can see what he's talking about. Okay, Echo. It goes down in a trade, but if you're Stonesy, you've got to be frustrated.
No doubt, but still into a 4 versus 3. The opportunities are certainly there for ULF, but being on the defensive side of such a big map, you're going to have something go your way.
Whether it's that spawn.
You know, that's the thing, right? You look at what they're trying to set up for here on ULF, a shift towards the C site, Ordez pushing down on short, or on long rather. But if you already have players clearing spawn, being this careful, they should clear this corner. But the problem is with Fabian spotting it, you might start to think that it's wide open. And that's when Ordez strikes, landing himself one, doing damage onto more with the paranoia. So much work done by it. Somehow Ordez ends up with a triple, and we're back to a 1v1. And you do not want a 1v1, even on full HP, up against someone like Fabian. And with that said, Seavoff is incredibly low.
He's going for a full reposition, maybe expecting that he would have run back in the other direction, but Not spotting anything out. Seevolf goes looking. I think he realized with the amount of HP he has, he kind of needs to get the drop on his opponent. But instead, it really does feel like
left.
that Fabian might just have the drop on him. He's going to have to go for the plant now. Hasn't found anything in terms of his opponent. And Fabian is just slowly walking his way forward. It's only a sheriff shot needed to close out the round. And this man keeps his flawless streak going. 4-0 on the board, but he's not the man to talk about here. It has to be Ordaz. I don't know how he gets as much as he does. They even put the aftershock in there, and he went, well, I'm going to die anyway, so I might as well just try and take 2 players with me.
Yeah, and we hear the cannons again going off. Celebratory. 18-12 over. That's it. Very embarrassing, because that's my favorite classical piece, but, you know, these things happen. A 3-0 start for ULF. A big play here, and honestly, the fact that Ordaz found as much as he did, again, Fabian wins the clutch, and he's a big part of why Ordaz had that space. The fact that he rotates in a position, gets there in time, and is shoulder peeking, they then think, well, that's the only guy on C. There's only 3 players alive on that defensive side. What are the chances that they've got a player took down in that corner, that they've got a second on C? They're gambling that heavy. With ULF, they put their eggs in one basket. Now they're all hatching. It's Stonesy falling early on. It's a very weak buy for Job Life, though.
Yeah, that's your breach pushing mid. Like, that's the level of confidence that ULF currently has, is the guy with the supportive util is like, yeah, I'm just going to fight him. I'm 4-0. I'm just going to walk down, take a kill, and then I'm going to walk down again. Sop just has found maybe the easiest kill of his career so far, although it's a fairly short one. Seevolf's at least managed one. There's still a little bit of space to be found, and Shin is going to try and go back. He's walking into the full force of the opposition. They've already taken full map control, and Seevolf left to fight versus 4, but he's going to get shot in the back. A clean round, and no doubt a few sprays into the body. A celebration.
And again, looking at sort of the tasks that were set up for Job Life starting out this map, Vinny said about containment. Now it doesn't seem to matter what side we're talking about, because Job Life can't even stop ULF from pushing. On this defensive side, they're getting space on mid. They went down C long and had a player tucked in. It seems like the traps being set are constantly sprung, and it's Job Life being caught in the middle of them, even if they're finding, like 2 rounds ago, those early advantages. It's a very scary position to be in, considering how the last map ended. We had a 5-1 lead for Job Life. It fell apart, and now, without that early lead, this could be a much quicker map.
Well, also, you've now got the operator in as well, so it completely changes the dynamic. It almost just used as an early warning system.
That's gone over the trip. They might not know it's there. There we go. Oh, unlucky.
Opportunity. They will get themselves the orb. Now that brings them at least a little bit closer to a Rolling Thunder. High impact ult and a heavy rotation early from the side of ULF, but they're already going to clear a fair bit. But I think Stonesy's sticking around. Ordaz, he's just holding.
I'm out of here.
And he may even catch him on the way back. No, he doesn't follow up. Doesn't want to risk it. But even still, what? It's just about a minute gone on the clock, and they've barely left the spawn.
No, they're right back to starting positions.
Gotta go.
The only info they have is nobody's pushed mid. And even then, you want to clear your corners on the way up just in case. You never know where Ordaz is going to be. It's ULF looking to get a little bit aggressive, it seems. Stopping this beam play, but Neki ends up falling flat. It's Fabian to deliver. Great game sense, but Cadaver lands the shot. Echo making a lot of noise with players close to him. That was a very risky play by Seevolf, especially when they already have that advantage, and it doesn't seem to be lasting long. With Saab finding one, it's the good position of Starzo that brings this back into Job Life's grasp. A smoke down.
Do they realize that Shin's here?
No, they don't. They're not even looking. And it's the utility that drops Ordaz in the end. Okay, Job Life on the board with 1. Nicely done. And they've saved up their ultis as well. No panic, even when you started to see those shots being hit by ULF on the other side.
The fun thing as well is, I don't think we saw it because of the replay, but Seevolf ran straight to one of the bodies and started spamming into it. So, and it's definitely being played by both sides, trying to get in the heads of opponents. I love it. It feels much more old school in that aspect. Even still, for ULF, the credits are there to spare. They've managed to keep things quite clean, but those ultimates are now well and truly online. Swap going walkabouts once again, but we'll have already heard the early challenge for Spade. He is still going. He is still, this is not the place like maybe if you're playing Yoru or Waylay, I might expect to see an operator here. Doing it on Neon, if anybody peeks window, you should be dead.
This is a big risk indeed. He's screwed. They're all over him right now. Sop has nothing to do from that position. Even if he gets the first, it's a one and done, surely. Cadaver finding another. That's odd as down.
And they're all revealed.
The hero of one of the earlier rounds. Info gone now. Neki can't fly under the radar. He's surrounded, but finds one. Should be put to bed. Should be taken down. No way he wins that. It is Shin to land it and leave Fabian alone, surrounded, and he will have his second death with the second round going the way of Joblife. 4-2 now. A nice resurgence from Joblife.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes off the back of Starzo. That's back-to-back 3Ks in the last couple of rounds. I think just starting to realize how aggressive their opponents are going to be and how patient they need to be. And also how methodical as well. Like some of those aggressive angles. Oh, we've caught him saying that a second time. Well, we'll see how many it gets to by the end of the day. I think it's going to be quite a few.
I can already think of what the graphic would be called for the counter, but I can't say it.
Yeah.
4-2. Weak weapons for ULF. Still some ultis to rely on. I mean, maybe they decide to pop that ult on Sop if they get the right info. Unfortunately, look at this gravitation from Joblife.
He's bought full shields. He's fully intending to commit that ult. Like,
it will have to be on the retake, though, because they've lost Neki, they've lost the C site. Nobody, I mean, the closest person is on short on A. So
yeah.
It's going to take a while to get there. The gamble is that maybe they kill him and then they run back. They don't. So
yeah,
big retake needed.
I think at this stage, you'd almost consider just dying to the spike.
I mean, look at the ults on the other side. If Seavoff is the one finding those, that's pretty devastating. If Stonesy gets even one, he's got his ult to fall back on, especially on the attack side. That's invaluable. Could just be better to take the death, not give the orbs away. I agree. Especially when you're not competing for any big orbs yourself, right? You've already got Rolling Thunder. You've already got your Hunter's Fury. Negative econ going for it.
I think the good thing for Joblife is this going to set them up for quite a few rounds. They've kept these nice and clean, and well, Echo maybe trying to do a little bit of chip damage. I'd say incredibly audacious, but in the end they will all just fall to the spike. 4-3, Joblife's climb begins, and well, maybe it's the curse of the strong start. A 4-round lead, just like the other side in the last map, and it is when the climb starts to come back for the side of Joblife.
But, I mean, look at how ULF have played some of these rounds, man. Like, the last buy, obviously this one, they didn't have anything. The round before, they had an odd push down mid and hold space in, well, what is, I mean, maybe he thought he was still playing Waylay. I don't know. Thought he had a Refract to play with. It's a very strange round, and I think Joblife have done well to punish that, but we won't see that kind of mistake made again. This is ULF's chance to get back to winning ways, to show that they can do it in more conventional styles. With Sop being revealed, he's not going to continue that push down short. The op, though, taking a nice little, well, nasty little angle, really, to try to catch them when they creep up through short. I like it, but the likelihood is he's going to be dumped with utility before he gets the chance. So he wants to get a more aggressive line.
Drone is going to get them the info. Not such a heavy rotation either from the side of ULF. You know, a lot of the early rounds, they were gambling on players coming back over to this side of the map. Instead, you now get that third player moving in, but still Sop in a very isolated position. Hunter's Fury going to be used to try and delay anybody pushing in that direction, and it forces them right into the operator reaction now. Stonesy's been having a rough game so far with need to step up here, and that's about as free as an opener as you're going to get, but the rest won't be quite as easy. Fabian on the backside holding the line with support in buckets, and well, it seems like a lot of the time he doesn't need any support. Another round for ULF, and that is the second layer I think we were looking for. Finally a bit of patience and a bit more of a passive stance.
But exactly, right? These early aggressive spots haven't really worked. I love this from Fabian. He talked about Echo in that first map, constantly using his own utility for cover. And here Fabian's not even using the util. It's that box in the middle of sight. He's dancing around it, constantly avoiding the battles until he has to take a one-on-one up against the Neon on the other side, but he shuts Stonesy down, and then he's peeking into long as soon as there's a teammate there to help him. I love that, just the survivability, even when the walls were closing in on the site. It was so necessary, and it's gotten a timeout from Job Life. Again, look at how they've won the last 2 rounds they picked up. Big mistakes by ULF that they punished, great, and then up against an eco. This is a different story. Once the rifles come back out and once ULF go back to what kind of worked for them in that early stage, stop trying to throw out these haymakers, it's been landing a little bit better. And now Job Life have to go back to the drawing board as their economy still allows them a couple of buys, but they don't want that close scoreline to get out of hand.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for Larson and Skaz to sort of talk this one through. Realistically, it's the same for the other side, and I'm going to be interested to see what they change about this, because as said, it's like when they've been able to sort of stop those aggressive plays, it's worked for them, but their actual executions haven't been going well. A lot of that is that Stonesy's having an incredibly quiet game, and it was sort of why I mentioned, like, can you get the synergy of Seavolf and Stonesy working? And I would say thus far, I think their opponents have done an incredible job to sort of stop that from happening.
My camera is destroyed.
Shot from Echo starts this out. Poor ULF in the same way.
Cage triggered.
As in that first map, he was so valuable when it came to pushing towards his side. But the aggression on the other side, Sop going deep and taking down that trip. Job Life wanted to go back here. Now they know they have a lot of space to clear, and it will be the drone sent out. Almost a good thing as it reveals the op. Perhaps reveals a fight that they don't want to take. I still see them around this area. I see Seavolf crossing, the smoke going down, but if they commit to A, they will still have to contend with Sop. And if they get close to him and put him under pressure, sure, then the op's a little less easy to use, but he's got his ultimate to fall back on. I don't think this is the site that they want to hit, but maybe they want to convince ULF that it is.
Yeah, Dart back online. Could try and bait with the Hunter's Fury, but that's definitely a bit of a gamble if that's the case. And they're not being particularly subtle about this. I don't think there's going to be anybody falling for a ruse. It might just be the idea to try and teleport back to the other side of the map, and that is the goal. Position of the TP underneath, but it has been heard. And now what? Oh, I was going to say, is there anybody watching for it? But there is Starzo, a safe pair of hands. Fabian trying to catch the rotation, but he loses the fight. Good work from Seavolf. And what could have been an even scenario now comes down to just 2.
Last player standing.
Wonderful work, honestly. I think this round for Job Life, that's inspired me. Because again, I look at the other 2, the last 2 they won, situational. Mistakes by ULF, and one that they should win. This time, so beautiful. They read the fact that in so many of these rounds when they make contact, when they make that play, even look at the 3 versus 4, where there were 2 players to the C side. ULF like to group up, they like to take these fights together and have big bursts of utility back into a fight. So when they went to A last time, over rotations. So this time, commit A early, get your drone out, push those players back, smoke off short so the op doesn't hold a deep line, and what do then? You embed a player on short and bait that C site, make so much noise, and TP into open space. Really nice stuff, and that's going to make ULF think twice about those early rotations, making it much easier to take more direct hits onto sites. Good cover by Seavolf there. They do still get traded out. It's only the 1 for ULF, and with pistols, getting anything else seems very unlikely. They have to clear the corner. They have to clear the corner.
Yeah,
yes.
they will.
Okay, they're not making the same mistake.
I think the other thing, see if there's one here. No, Cadaver is going to get it. I think the other thing I like as well is you could tell by the reaction, I can't remember who it was who jumped out the window, but they clearly thought that was a panic rotation TP. Like that was one player teleporting to the other side of the map, I kill him, I win the round. Whereas I think the whole focal point, and probably the man calling it as well, Starzo, him being there made so much of a difference, and they had zero idea. You can see that based on how they played. They had no idea there would be a second player defending that spike plant.
It's especially where he was. I can't highlight it on the map, but down on short, tucked in that corner, you can hear the rotates going out of A, going into the B site, going off the B site. So he had all the information to work with, knowing
here we go.
that most of it was clear. Big play by Stonesy. He's going to be wrapping around backside. The flash was good. Really nicely connected by Sevov. And the Hunter's Fury clearing space as Shin clears the sight of players. Job life. The resurgence really is in full force. We're looking at what could be a 6-5 and a decision for this final round. Do ULF decide to save and carry forward so they can at least have a strong buy? It looks like SOP's taking a risk, and that might spur them forward.
Yeah, but look at where the other players are. They're all sat back towards long. Like, okay, you do have yourself... Oh, okay, they're going to use a Rolling Thunder. I was going to say you have yourself a smoke to just sort of hold them off, but at least now know that that site is clear. Spike being tabbed, Starzo with the execution, and they're definitely wary, but I think his dart just gave the full reveal up to the player trying to defuse. It was a big gamble from the ULF players, and that gamble has not paid off. Their 4-0 lead at the beginning has dwindled to dust, and they now sit one round down on their own map choice.
It's a really good call from Starzo as well, I assume. The fact that they realize in the arsenal of ULF is that Rolling Thunder. After SOP gets a kill, of course they're going to commit that if they are going for it. So playing off-site, but not just gambling on spraying through long and the spray and pray. They send Shin and Kadavra a little staggered, a second or so between them, to go through Garage. Even if the first falls, you're not going to expect the second in that scenario, and that gets behind the Rolling Thunder. Ends up converting the round. Thinking on their feet, and I think considering how this started with ULF getting so much space for free, winning every duel they went for in the early stages, and closing out rounds even when they managed to fumble early on. This is a crazy resurgence, and we set it on Bind. I think this one has even a different flavor to it, because Job Life looked down and out.
Oh, they've still got to be careful. Guardians, the Judge, and ult for SOP. And a chance for another 6-6 half. It is an aggressive position, and this time they have been caught. Starzo has been the catalyst in a lot of these rounds, and losing him early, definitely not ideal. Already a rotation from Ordaz, a completely different position, and he spotted them once again. He's going to call in SOP, who we mentioned has that ult online.
3 now in position.
30
no
seconds
Rolling
left.
Thunder for Fabian, but he can pop a quick stun. Now might be the time. Player spotted in the corner. Kadavra under so much pressure, and he will be dropped.
They're trying to run back.
Short's fully cleared. That means that they know exactly where this play is coming down. Stonesy gets ahead of the stun, though. Does really well to drop Fabian. The Judge of Echo, though. That's caught them off guard. And Stonesy will fall trying to retrieve the spike again. We end the half 6-6.
Yeah,
Switching
really
sides.
impressive stuff once more from the side of Job Life. We'll have to see after 6-6, will it be the same story or a change of tune after the break?
Remaining. Spike down, B.
You know I got to wake up and dance. You know I got to get up and dance. When I'm in the backyard, dance, dance. When I'm in the graveyard, we dance. When I go back to sleep, I dance. In the realm of dreams, I dance. When I'm in the boneyard, dance, dance. When I'm caught off guard, I dance. I got a feeling I can't shake, but I'ma try to shake it anyway. I got a move that I can't break, but I'ma break that thing anyway. Not gonna tell you twice, we're gonna dance all night. Not gonna rush the beat, we're gonna move our feet. Not gonna tell you twice, we're
The Starzo leading by example in that first half. JobLife have managed to climb this back to even, despite a strong start from ULF, a complete flip-off from the previous map where on Bind, it was a big lead for JobLife that ended up 6-6 at the half. Now, we come into this, what could be the last half of the series or just the start of something beautiful. We could be going all the way to Abyss. It's in JobLife's hands.
Yeah, I think this is where, though, having those stand-ins can be a little bit more difficult. The calling on the attack, you follow the leader on the defense. It's going to be down to the more micro plays of Synergy. Already, that's not looking like a great start. A huge gap exploited. Oh, nice shot from Stonesy. Trying to hold the line, does some damage before he falls, but the post plant looking inevitable for the man advantage for ULF.
It could be another pistol round. Injecting some success, but Shin has managed to regroup the rest of the squad now as they drop out of heaven. The pressure on with Fabian low. It's going to be Sop covering from that left side, but look how low both players from JobLife are. A single shot, a right click of a classic could end the round. It's Sop with his third, and he's left on 75 with a big swing, but Kata connects the headshot. JobLife, they steal the pistol round away.
Guys, looking dead to rights after the opener, like Starzo being caught with his pants down, not expecting them to be that far up, and just a nasty little turnaround. And with stops still styling, and even having the confidence to try and just fly right past Kata. It was a reaction shot to end it, but one that he lands. An important pistol for JobLife. As I said, I do think there's going to be parts of this defensive side that could be tougher. But one thing I am looking forward to is the Stonesy sniper. It was a good part of their Bind defense was when he was on, he was tough to play against. There is also one on the other side though. And Starzo's almost dead.
Yeah, it's the danger of that outlaw. I like this purchase from ULF, giving them a chance. Those weaker weapons just need a hit for 10. And even a classic can manage that. Sop will be able to easily take them down, or vice versa. Nice shots, there it is! Both connections from the outlaw converted. But Sevov standing strong in the backside will be challenged. Odd has to drop him. We're into a close conclusion with 32 HP between the two final players from ULF. And a late play from Kadavra, the man who won out the previous round with a sliver of health. He can tank a shot from that outlaw. And they don't know where he's coming from. He's got the jump, the one angle they're not covering. And Kadavra will bring this to a 1v1 and close it as well. Both of these rounds clutched out by Kata, and the lead for JobLife as a result.
Oh, they've got to be sweating though from that one. I think my favorite play of the round was actually, I think the player who was on long intentionally gets tagged by the drone so that they swing into the outlaw. If you look at the wide position that was being held by Sop, the whole idea was bait. They were just trying to give him the opportunity. And as we mentioned throughout the series, you can understand why. The guy does such an unbelievable amount of damage with that sniper. But the outlaw wasn't enough this time. The fact is, though, look at what JobLife are doing here. It's about as hard of a bonus round as you're ever going to see. With only one player surviving in the last, they are opting for just minute purchases.
Oh, nice spray. Stonesy's done well. Oh. He's done incredibly well. This is the rifle that they've got to work with, and they've managed to find themselves an advantage. Those Sheriffs potentially looking to upgrade as well, as you see JobLife just group up towards A long now. They're holding the space. They're going to see that no one's here. The trap's going to be broken. Could even see the plant go down. But that's where you just waltz forward and say, okay, cool. What have you left behind for me as a little treat? Let's find out.
Well, the guns can be retrieved. They've still got full belts of utility as well. Paranoia, splashes, aftershock stun, like pretty much everything you could need to get back into the site. Paranoia already being used though, and as a lot of this utility deteriorates, you do feel like the advantage starts to swing in towards ULF's favor. Now there's actually still a trip down that's going to cause some issues for Echo. He can't quite get in behind them, but that time has been ticking for quite a while. The corner being held. Neki kind of goes unchecked, but he doesn't manage to land the shots. Even still, though, his teammates are coming up big. It's only one man standing, and that man will fall in turn. A nice attempt with what was in the round, Mitch, but from the 4v3, maybe expected a little more.
Sure, especially when they get the Phantom and the Outlaw to work with. It's given them a real chance to convert that round, to close it out in their favor, and I think the frustration in the booth, it's like having Barbar back.
I like, you know, when he jumped and you saw the chair go a little bit, and then just a tiny bit of panic. Tiny bit, because you don't want to be the guy that falls off the chair in the coaching booth.
Absolutely
that
not.
will never
not
be
in
forgotten.
Game 1 of Ascension as well. I mean, at least wait a little bit.
Any time, because it will be immortalized.
Didn't Barbar fall off the chair before?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he leaned back and then went way too far, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe someone can go find the clip from back in the day. You'll be taking quite a while if you're trying to go through all the Barbar
He's
clips.
renowned for his desks and not his chairs.
Oh, we got the cam already destroyed. Nice shock dart thrown through. Ulf closing the distance now. Those traps still in play. Kadavra baiting them in. He wants them to close that distance, and he'll find one for his trouble, but the full blind stops him converting. Still caught, though. Sup will be eliminated. And so a 3v3 with that trap still securing some space.
Oh, he's been pinged by the cam, though. They know where he is, and with only 4 bullets, he had to tap. No opportunity to spray. The remaining 2 players coming in from the same angle. Echo is watching for him, but the bait from Stonesy's nice. Puts him down low on HP, but the swing coming in now leaves it up to Starzo. Gonna try and get them to look away, and he will not do so. They hold the line, they wait patiently, and it's a fine margin, but it's an 8-8 score.
Now, the fact is, we saw Joblife take 2 rounds to start this half, but they were by narrow margins indeed. It was Kadavra who had to bail them out of those bad situations. Get them to that 8-6 lead. From here, though, rifles in hand, it seems like Ulf, even with some shakier starts, like we said, that A-long play where Stonesy was able to take 2 through the smoke, and Ulf still stabilize. It looks like momentum might be in their favor, and it certainly should be, as now we see just pistols for Joblife. Very well done by Shin. Manages to land one through the garage doors, but it is traded out for 2, and you hope that the flank here can find something. A classic in hand, though.
Yeah.
They would have to give him so much space. No one's checking it for now.
Yeah, Cat has definitely been impressive. Last competitive match that he played was in April. You wouldn't be able to tell. He's sneaking up, but it's also how much can he realistically do with just a classic, and he needs a little bit more. But that should be a free gun. That's the main benefit. If he went up against the full force, it would have been troublesome, but instead, now the full reveal, and even get Starzo an extra kill. Now he can look to swing him with that rifle that he retrieved, but, well, he does more with the classic, it seems. Hunter's Fury didn't quite have the connection, but there was a second layer, a second flanker. Another peel to the onion. They might just leave them with tears in their eyes as it is Sup to go down without a clue in the world. Ordaz needs to isolate them, but it's an awful fight, and he gets both! Again, some individual brilliance saves the likes of Ulf, and yeah, a standing ovation from Echo. You could understand why.
Probably not the round you want to have a hero play in, but losing your Cypher early on, great read by Kadavra. Problem is that smoke, look where Sop is. The smoke that bloomed, that blinded Kadavra. It literally, it was almost a paranoia. It stopped him being able to see the player he left on a, what, 33 HP? I think, if I'm not mistaken, from looking at it, that was Shin smoke. I bet Kat is having some words with him right now. But 9-8, as we said, it's how it looked like it would be coming into that round, but big problems, I guess, for Ulf. As soon as they lose Echo, their back is open, no one's checking it. Hell, you've even got a player droning, and poor Neki is droning out short. Everyone goes long, no one even thinks about the flank.
That's the thing, it feels like tunnel vision. Like, it's
100%.
like you're so focused on whatever the call, whatever the goal is, which at times that can be a blessing, but they need to be aware when you lose someone like Echo. I think also that's something you want him to vocalize. It's like, okay, I've normally got this on lock. We need to make sure that we're aware of this, especially in low buy rounds. Your opponent is going to take risks. They're going to do things that they wouldn't normally do.
The thing is, I understand not being immediately cautious because they'd cleared mid, they'd cleared garage seconds ago. But the problem is when they're rotating to A-long, no one even glances towards that C-long push. And had they, if they would have seen Kadavra most of the time. I think he was tucked in around where Audaz is now for a couple seconds. But most of the time he was visible, and they just didn't clear it. That is a small mistake, but better to have that mistake happen now when it was a pistol recovering a single rifle than when your entire opposition has rifles to play with, because that could have went a very different way. And now, aggression seems to be the answer for Joblife. They are going right down into Ulf's den, and it's Echo who strikes first. Stonesy,
yeah, look at his health.
Nothing. Well, it's a lot of damage. 149, but not enough.
Echo's still pushing. He's just decided, but the only thing I'm going to have is the element of surprise, and that element of surprise could be about to bite Seavolf in the back. Walking up behind him, the TP of Shin. If he sticks he's surely dead to rights, and well, Echo, he really is trying to play all the cards! A perfect lurk in the backlines! Nothing they can do about that. On 1 HP, he takes 2 kills. And well, for Starzo, yeah, safe. There's nothing more to be done in this round. There's no hope of getting in versus those ultimates and 3 players. And oh, from almost being the problem in the last round. I realize I said 3 players. It's because Echo's health is so low, it looks like he's dead.
He was gone. The fact that he made that play with 1 HP. Like, don't get me wrong, the first kill was easy. I mean, that was gifted to him. Stonesy wasn't looking at him, went right past him, made all the noise in the world on his way. That was a freebie because of good positioning. I guess the other 2 were also freebies because of good positioning, but the fact that he had the audacity to go what? Oh, but yeah, look, if you notice that in the moment, your brain's working faster than a supercomputer. But for Echo here, getting into this spot, the patience when Shin took the TP. The fact that Shin didn't check the spawn, I mean, you just got to do a little 360, but why would you expect him to be there?
Like, your teammates literally stood a foot away from you. Like, why would you expect a player to have just been able to walk up mid? I think that's the bigger issue in that round, but confidence. And another big play for Echo. I think he's going to be building an Ascension highlight reel just from the first one. Ordaz has just stuck it into the spawn. He has just gone all the way back to the other side. It's like a matchmaking strap. He has so much ground stones. He's going to try and aggress. They need to do something, and that has worked out for them. Another one for Kata as well. He's done well in this round, and Seavolf adding another. Still a couple of rifles have been retrieved. Rolling Thunder available, but look at the play after TPing in. Ordaz again. He's been impeccable, and now they're just looking to retreat. Stonesy, all he can do is give chase.
Well, he knows one's holding him. Oh, he knows they're running as well. He's constantly just a step behind. But now he has a chance. He could have wrapped around this left side. He could be about to emerge from the right. Ulf have to take the fight together, but they're splitting their attention. Fabian, good to land the shot, though. And Joblife fall further behind as Ulf push up to 11. And that's 2 rounds in a row now, Tom. We've seen Echo creep up through mid and find that pick behind C-site to grab a double, a triple in the round. And then this time, a TP they knew had been taken, but they heard it.
Yeah.
He got a kill from there. And then he's able to walk down and catch 2 players with utility out. Again, I can't stress enough, he just got a kill from there. What are the chances he's there? Pretty high. That's a big mistake, and I think we come back to sort of playing with the stand-ins and the restructuring, the reshuffle. It causes these problems. There's going to be gaps in your play, and right now, Ulf are exploiting every single one of those gaps.
Oh dear, Starzo. Even the stun for good measure. I like it. Pavian also has a Rolling Thunder Shin. Aggressive positioning around the edge of the smoke. I don't mind the idea, but he has kind of missed the boat and the drop down while they know exactly where he is. They may not necessarily know how many people are here, but I'll say that they're not. They're all dead. Echo's killed 2. Shin stunned up at the back of the side. No escape, no chance. And while we've spoken about these flanks, good luck, Kata.
Yeah, if he gets away with this one, I will be very surprised. I guess he beat the timing on the cam.
As his ex-analyst, what would you tell him to do in this moment?
Save?
Oh.
Probably.
Oh, that's bleak. I was hoping for like a little bit of Mitchman propaganda for an ex-Alliance player, but yeah. Did you teach him that?
Oh, come on, man. leave poor Kata alone.
Oh, I'm blaming you.
Yeah, I know, for a spray you're saying wasn't very good. That's rude, Tom. That's very rude. I'll let him know that you've been critiquing him.
That's okay.
6
rounds in a row.
6 in a row, 4-round gap, timeout from Joblife, panic stations on that defensive side. I mean, it was the same on the attack as well. At this point, in terms of silver linings, yeah, that's me about done.
They have a bye.
That's good. Oh, that's good. And how many buys have gone well for them so far? 0.
There was some on the other half that went quite well.
If it was suddenly a pistol round, I might agree that they're in with a good chance. And the problem is as well, both rounds that they found, the pistol and the follow-up were extremely close.
Yeah.
They were 1 player left alive. It was a 1v2 in a round where your opponents had nothing except I think they invested into an outlaw and pistols. So like from this point, it looks like on this defensive side, Job Life are just crumbling. And then again, look at the fact that ULF have a bit more experience. I mean, we're talking as a team, they've got more experience on every map because JL obviously have had those shuffles.
7 days.
7 days, indeed.
7 days of experience.
Whereas ULF are coming in, and this is the map that they obviously chose, but even if you look at the stats, this is the map that they will want to fight most teams on.
ULF are playing Premier, so they've been playing together.
They got a few days, a few extra days, yeah.
Had a couple of switch-ups in the mix of it, but yeah, they've played through the Turkish league into Challengers, and then even took the dub there as well. It has been another wonderful story that has come out of the Turkish region, with BBL Pacific, the other, to do the same thing last year. Even still though, it's not done yet. Stonesy with some aggression, orb taken. And there was a chance for Larson to talk to the boys, try and put them back on track. Look at the rotation already. This is the A site, completely open. Now, a lot of this because of the Rolling Thunder, but I'm looking at the fact that Sivov has that in hand. I would assume you'd want to save that for...
It's only if the trip.
A retake? Yeah.
He won't do that if the trip doesn't get hit. I mean, I hope. I'd imagine that's the call.
Look how much space has already been taken. Now, Stonesy is waiting. Any further aggression could be a problem, but this site is literally free. And yeah, they're going to need that Rolling Thunder for the retake.
Something you talked about, Tom, when we started out this map was the flanks. And I think especially in the second half, they have been such a key part. The lurks, the flanks, all that space being taken, being found. Now, you have an attempt from SOP to get behind them. There's a cam that's on the B side that hasn't spotted him, obviously. Is to break the trip and move quickly. Stun's already landed. He's finding himself a couple shots, but he's going to be taken down from behind. Cadaver, the late rotate, manages to land himself one. We've got some aggression going down up in heaven indeed. Paranoia's going to push them back, but Neki able to double spray down. Echo on another, and it is the beginning of the end. A 3K from Cadaver, but he's put in the dirt by Echo. A 2-0 for ULF. They started this series out on Bind, 5-1 down. It looked like they hadn't came to play, but you know what? They came to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we got to see those sort of glimpses of this squad and what they were able to do. Even still, though, there's plenty more to come. So we'll be back after the break.